Good afternoon and welcome inside the Crisler Center for this broadcast of University of Michigan women's basketball as they face the Maryland Terrapins. I'm Luca Nowinski alongside Covenant Akinremi, and we have a really great top 15 showdown regular season finale for the Wolverines here today.
Yes, for sure. Starting with our senior night or senior afternoon, I'd say, with um our
Yeah, so we got some senior day celebrations ongoing here at the Crisler Center, Michigan, with three seniors that they're honoring here tonight. First of all, we've got Brooke Quarles Daniels, who was a transfer from Oakland, and she topped over 1,000 career points this season. She's even only playing a couple of years here, 27th all time for the University of Michigan women's basketball program with 122 steals. Meanwhile, our other seniors here today, it's Alyssa Crockett, who is Michigan's only four-year player on the roster. So big night for her here on her senior day. She's played in 101 games for the Wolverines. The final senior for Michigan is Allie Van Timmeren, the Boston College transfer. She's played in 116 games over her college career, including 40 at Michigan. So lots of good things going on here today with this senior day celebration. We also at halftime will have a celebration for Caitlin Flaherty, who is one of the great Michigan basketball players of all time, the all-time leading scorer, actually, in Michigan basketball history with 2,776 points. So lots of festivities going on here in Ann Arbor, but let's focus on the game at hand because not only is there things going on before and in the middle of the game, but this game itself is going to be really entertaining. You've got a Michigan team who's ranked really high, 8th in the country. Maryland ranked 14th in the country despite going through some injuries throughout the year. So this is going to be a great matchup between two teams that are towards the top of the Big Ten as they fight for seeding in the Big Ten tournament.
yes, 100%. It's definitely going to be a tough game, but a fun one to watch tonight with our two top 15. Top 15s in the country. I think this is good. What do you think is going to be the hardest challenge that Michigan will be facing today?
I think the biggest challenge for the Wolverines here today is Maryland's rebounding. They're one of the top teams in the country in terms of rebounding, 7th in the country in rebounding margin, as well as 2nd in the Big Ten. They're 8th in the country in offensive rebounds and top in the Big Ten in that category. If Michigan wants to win this game, they got to keep it close on the glass, limit the second chance points for the Terrapins. That will be huge for Michigan to win this game. The other thing I think for the Wolverines that could be a really big key is Silas Swords, of course. We know how great of a player she is. She's been turning it up here in the last few games at the end of this season. She is averaging 17 and a half points in her last 6 games, only 12.3 in the 8 games prior to that. So she's really stepping it up. However, in that span, Michigan has lost 2 games to UCLA and Iowa, as we know. In those games, she only scored 8 points and 7 points, respectively. So if they want this top 15 win here today, it will have to go through Silas Swords. She needs to have a good performance here going into the end of the regular season and into the Big Ten tournament. It's going to be huge for Michigan if Silas Swords is on and ready to go.
Yes, I definitely agree with that. Silas Swords is one of the key players in Michigan with having scored double figures as a sophomore. And I think one thing that we also need to do is also utilize Macy Brown with her 8 points overtime at the Ohio State game on Wednesday, which is incredible, getting us for 80, 88 to 86 during overtime.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about that Ohio State game. You go on the road into a rival atmosphere against a top 15 team in the country and a great Big Ten team. You've got Macy Brown, who comes in overtime, scores 8 straight points on her own, an 8-0 run by herself, while Michigan was trailing with just a minute and a half left to go. That was absolutely huge. You had a lot of players in that game who fouled out, and the bench really stepped up. Also in that game, Olivia Olson scoring a career-high 31 points to take the lead for the Wolverines. You had Silas Swords, who scored a go-ahead three-pointer in regulation with only 14 seconds left before some miscues led to Ohio State being able to tie the game on some free throws. But overall, it was a game where Michigan faced a lot of adversity. Things weren't going their way, and they found a way to get the win. even if it meant having to rely on some players that typically aren't the normal ones that you see in the lineup. So if they can continue that production here today, that would be huge as well, getting some of those depth players to make big impacts on the court.
Yes, I definitely agree. This is the type of game where you don't want to see us going into overtime. We need to put our best foot forward as Michigan is about to go into tip-off shortly.
Yeah, we've got a couple of minutes before tip-off. Michigan looks like they'll head back down into the tunnel as the Terrapins now take the floor after Michigan's Senior Day celebration. Another little preview here for this one. This is a top-tier coaching matchup between Michigan's Kim Barnes-Arico and Maryland's Brenda Fries. We know Kim Barnes-Arico, obviously her 14th season at the University of Michigan, the winningest coach in Michigan basketball history with 307 wins. Two-time Big Ten Coach of the Year, obviously, taking Michigan into the tournament, deep into the tournament several times. But on the other end, for Maryland and Brenda Fries, this is her 24th season at Maryland. She's got 630 wins. Obviously, the winningest head coach in Maryland basketball history. Of course, they've made the tournament in 21 of her 23 seasons so far, including 12 Sweet 16s, 7 Elite Eights, 3 Final Fours, and a national championship in 2006. She has 14 conference titles to her name. Her career win percentage of 77% is 10th all time in Division I women's basketball. So Brenda Fries is a very good coach, and I think we see that with this Maryland team. This is a team with several players, key players, who are out for the season with ACL injuries and other things like that. And the way that they've been able to keep this team in it, they're ranked 14th in the country, even with all of those key injuries. I think it's a testament really to how great of a coach Brenda Fries is and really how great this Maryland program is. And it's sustained success that we've seen from them as long as Fries has been there.
Definitely been evident that Fries has been able to hold her own and putting Maryland in their best foot forward during all the seasons that she's been there. It's even incredible to see also Michigan's head coach as well doing great for our team this year. Even just looking at the stats for Maryland as we're about to start, we have Okanonwa with 17.7 points per game, Poffenbarger with her rebounds of 7.1 points per game, Poffenbarger again leading the team from 3.3 assists per game, and Okanonwa 2.3 steals per game. As we can see here, the two to watch are definitely Poffenbarger and Okanonwa for sure.
One interesting storyline as well for Maryland is Isi Ozi Momodu. She has been out the past 2 games with a lower leg injury. She played very limited minutes on February 4th against Michigan State, as well as February 15th against Ohio State. She is listed as available for this game, but is not in the starting lineup as usual. She is replaced by Mir McLean, who will start in her place. So we'll see how much Ozi Momodu can play. She is a very important piece for the Terrapins. One of their leading rebounders was 6.7 rebounds per game. So if she can play in this game and play a key role for Maryland, that could be a big problem for Michigan, especially with how good Maryland is on the glass. So we'll see if she comes into the game off the bench and what we see from her as this game goes on. But like we said, not in the starting lineup today. She's replaced by Mir McLean, as she has been for the last 2 games.
Mir McLean, a graduate student from Baltimore, averaging about 3.4 rebounds per game, as well as 4 points per game, which is definitely a difference from Momodu with 6.7, like you said already, and 8.1 points per game. So if they can get Momodu on the court today, that's definitely going to be a challenge one for Michigan. But hopefully they can be able to pull through.
Yeah, and McLean in her last 2 games that she was the starter due to Ozi Momodu's injury, she scored 11 and 6 points in those 2 games. She's kind of turned it on in the last few games, averaging 8.5 points in her last 6 games after only averaging 2.8 in the first 22 games of the season. So she's starting to turn it on here late in the season, especially having to step up because of Ozi Momodu's injury. So we will see how well McLean can play. She's been pretty good lately. And we'll see if Ozi Momodu can come in off the bench and make a significant impact for Maryland. We're just moments away from tip-off. We'll throw it down and take a listen to the national anthem as we are just about a minute or 2 away from tip-off here at the Crisler Center.
afternoon, basketball fans. Welcome to Crisler Center for today's Big Ten basketball matchup featuring the visiting University of Maryland Terrapins and your University of Michigan Wolverines. We now ask that you please rise at table and remove your hats and join us as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem. Active duty and veterans may keep their caps on while rendering the military salute. The anthem is performed by the Michigan Basketball Band under the direction of John Madge. Today's contest first for Maryland.
Welcome back inside the Crisler Center, just moments away from tip-off. We're going to meet the starting lineups once again here. For Maryland, it's number 3, Addie Mack, number 6, Sailor Poffenbarger, number 7, Oluchi Okanawa, number 10, Mir McLean, and number 12, Yarden Garzone. And for the Wolverines, it's number 1, Olivia Olson, number 3, Mila Holloway, number 5, Brooke Quarles-Daniels, number 12, Silas Swords, and number 15, Ashley Solfakanik. Big matchup here, top 15 showdown between two of the best teams in the Big Ten. It's really sure to be a great one here in Ann Arbor. And the Michigan Wolverines are just about to get introduced here on Senior Day as we're just moments away from the tip-off. What's one thing that you're kind of looking for in this game from the Wolverines if they want to really win this one?
What I think that the Wolverines need to do for this game is just keep that intensity up, keep the offense and defense as well going against Maryland because they are also a good team and have almost the exact same qualities as Michigan. So it's definitely going to be a game where you have to see the Wolverines owning their core, as this is a home court advantage as well. See, so what would you like? What do you think?
One thing I think that's really important, and it's an issue we saw with them against Ohio State the other day, is the amount of players that fouled out for Michigan. You had Mila Holloway, Brooke Quarles-Daniels, and Ashley Solfakanik playing limited minutes due to those fouls. And with a team like Maryland, who is so proficient on the glass, you're going to need to put your best foot forward, and you need a player like Ashley Solfakanik on the floor to be able to fight against the Terrapins on the glass. I think it'll be really important to have all your players in the game. So if they can do that, if they can stay out of foul trouble, if they can compete with Maryland on the glass, I'm not saying they have to win the rebounding battle necessarily, but at least compete. Don't allow too many second chance points for the Terrapins. You're going to put yourself in a really good position to win. And I also think it's going to be really important that Michigan can shoot from beyond the arc. That's who this team is, especially with a player like Silas Swords, who, we know how good of a three-point shooter she is. It's going to be really, really important for her to take and make those shots. She's the key player, I think, for the Wolverines to win this game.
Can we just talk about the atmosphere here in Crisler Center today? This place is booming.
It is.
Fans, incredible support.
It is packed at the Crisler Center here today. Even on spring break, we got a large amount of fans here, and they're excited for this team. This is the final regular season game before they go into the Big Ten tournament and eventually March Madness. They'll be sure to be hosting some games here at the Crisler Center for March Madness in that first and second round. So I'm sure we'll see another couple great turnouts here at the Crisler Center for those games. It's a really great atmosphere. It's basketball season. in Ann Arbor for this women's team as well as the men's team. We saw them last night get a big win to clinch the regular season Big Ten title, and I think Ann Arbor as a whole is just excited for some March basketball as we're right on the doorstep February 28th today.
Yes, for sure. Our teams are definitely showing out, both being top 10 ranked on the AP poll against all the other colleges basketball teams as well. It's incredible.
Big game here. Michigan projected as of right now to be a 2 seed in that NCAA tournament. Maryland projected to be a 3 seed. So these are certainly some high-powered teams that can make some noise in the month of March. But let's close out February 1st here, February 28th, and the players are taking the floor. We are getting ready for tip-off from the Crisler Center after that senior day celebration we had pregame. Like we said, also we will witness the honoring of Caitlin Flaherty's jersey, the Michigan basketball legend. It's a big game, big atmosphere here at the Crisler Center, and we are getting ready for tip-off. One thing I think that's really important for the Wolverines here, I think, is just starting fast. They've had a couple of games, especially lately, where they've had a little bit of a lull either in the first or second quarter. This is going to be a big moment. You don't want to dig yourself into a hole. We also saw them dig themselves, obviously, into a hole with foul trouble against Ohio State. So just put your best foot forward, keep the game close, and keep the fouls at a minimum. I think that's going to be a key here as Ashley Sofulkanik goes to the center of that big block M at center court alongside Sailor Poffenbarger for the Terrapins. And crowd on their feet at the Crisler Center as we get ready for tip-off from Ann Arbor. Ball's in the air, and it is won by the Terrapins. We are underway at long last from the Crisler Center. It's Addie Mack with it for the Terrapins, crossing over that big block M at center court. Pass bounces off of the foot of Silas Swords, so Maryland will keep it. Garzone will inbound for Maryland from the sideline. Gets it into Mack, working against Holloway at the top of the key. Now to Poffenbarger on the left wing against Swords. Poffenbarger finds a teammate in the corner. It's McLean trying to go down low against Sofulkanik. Draws the double team with Olsen. Back out, it's Garzone for three. That one's good, and Maryland gets the scoring started. It's 3-0 with 9:30 to go in the first quarter. Maryland bringing pressure on a full court press. Quarles Daniels gets it up to Olsen, running down the left wing. Now it's Holloway at the top of the key, working from that big block M. Holloway goes right wing. Trying to go inside now, loses the ball. Gets it out to Swords in the left corner. Now Sofulkanik trying to go down low. No luck there. Passes to Olivia Olsen, and there's going to be a foul called. Looks to be against the Terrapins. Mir McLean called for a foul. 3-0 Maryland with 9:10 to go in this first quarter. Olsen will inbound from the baseline, gets it out to Holloway at the top of the key. Holloway, bounce pass Olsen from the stripe, puts it through, and Michigan is on the board. 3-2 Maryland lead with 9 minutes to go in the first quarter.
Michigan starting to make some great plays here as number 7, Okanonwa, is with the
Mack on the right wing working against Holloway. Now it's Okanawa. Poffenbarger on the left wing, now going down low. It's Garzone working against Olsen. Puts up a shot on the baseline, no good. Olsen with the rebound for the Wolverines. Swords will take it up the left side. Pass up to Quarles Daniels on the left wing. Olsen will reset from the top of the key. Goes down low for Sofulkanik. Met by some Terrapins, and they're going to say Sofulkanik traveled. There was some contact down low. Crowd is not happy with that call, and Maryland will take over on a Sofulkanik travel.
Maryland has already put in a strong start out for this game today.
3-2 Maryland lead, 8:20 to go in the first quarter. Maryland working against some pressure from the Wolverines. It's Okanawa trying to go down low. She'll back out to the top of the key. Working against Quarles Daniels, a stellar defensive player for Michigan. Now it's Mack working from the block M, 10 to shoot. Mack going left side, passes it over to Garzone. Garzone trying to go down low against Olsen. 4 to shoot for Garzone. Passes it over to Okanawa, puts up a jumper. That one's short. And a shot clock violation. So Michigan will take over. A great stand on defense for the Wolverines. 3-2 Maryland leads, 7:57 on the clock in this first quarter. Holloway will take it up, facing some pressure from Mack. She'll go right up the middle for Michigan, directing traffic. Olsen cutting left to right, gets the ball on the right wing. Now over to Swords on the right wing. Gets the screen from Sofocanic. Swords from the top of the key. Olsen on the left wing. Now going down low for Quarles Daniels. Passes Sofocanic, who lays it up and lays it in. Michigan with a 4-3 lead. 7:33 to go in the first quarter.
Great hustle by Michigan just right there on the pass start speed to get us to 4-3.
Mack almost lost it, and it's a jump ball. Quarles Daniels got right in there at half court, and Michigan will take over with that possession arrow. 4-3 Michigan leads, 7:27 to go in the first quarter. Olsen will inbound right in front of the announcer's table at center court. Passes it into Holloway. She'll take it up the right side. Now go to the top of the key where she'll set things up for Michigan. It's Swords now. Over to Olsen at the top of the key. Hand off Holloway. Holloway, step back jumper for two is no good. Olsen with the offensive rebound and the put back for Michigan. 6-3 Michigan lead.
Great rebound right there by Olsen, putting up points for Michigan. 6-3 with 7 minutes left of the first quarter.
Mack with it for the Terrapins on the left wing, working against Holloway. Pass over to the right side. It's Garzone working against Olsen, trying to go down low. Olsen having none of it. Now she puts back a fadeaway jumper. No good. Offensive rebound and a putback for Akanawa. What a great play for Maryland. It's 6-5 Michigan lead with 6:38 to go in the first quarter. Olsen takes it up, trying to work quickly for the Wolverines. Olsen will stop at the free throw line, pass it back out to Holloway from the top of the key, now trying to go down low, and there's going to be a foul before the shot against the Terrapins. That goes against Addie Mack. Her first foul, second team foul for the Terrapins, and we'll get a couple of substitutions here. It's Kendall Walker and Issy Ozi Momadu, who we talked about in the pregame, so she is in for Maryland with a brace on her left knee, so we'll see what she can do. Now Swords working from the corner, on the floor, almost lost it, passes it out to Sofocanic. Now Quarles Daniels working from the top of the key, going down low, jumper is good! Way to make something out of nothing there. Silas Swords was able to get off the floor and get it to a teammate. 8-5 Michigan lead, 6:08 to go. Poffenbarger working right side for the Terrapins. Gets it to Akanawa. Now down low, it's Ozi Momadu who puts it up and puts it in. She's back from injury and scoring right off the bench for Maryland. 8-7 Michigan lead, 5:52 to go in the first quarter. Holloway trying to go down low. She'll back it out to Olsen. Olsen now driving. Back out to Holloway for three from the left wing. It's Mila Holloway for three. Michigan with an 11-7 lead. 5:36 to go in the first quarter.
Holloway with 13.3 point per game average. Doing great. We have an 11-7 4-point lead for Michigan with 5 minutes left in the clock.
Hoffenbarger trying to work down low. Now back out Ozi Momadu with a little floater from the free throw stripe that's good. 11-9 Michigan lead. 5:18 to go in the first quarter. Swords brings it up the right side, working from the right wing now. Gets a screen from Sofocanic. She'll go to the baseline. Back out Holloway on the right wing. Swords in the corner. Driving. Jumper from the free throw stripe is good. Michigan cannot miss. 13-9 lead, under 5 minutes to go in the first. Maryland will slow it down. It's Walker with it. Coming off the bench. Poffenbarger now on the left wing, working against Swords. Pass over to Walker. Walker trying to drive on Holloway. Gets a pass through traffic, and there will be a foul as a Terrapin heads to the floor. Foul goes against Sofocanic. And we will get a timeout on the floor. Michigan with a 13-9 lead. 4:40 to go in that first quarter. Well, Michigan off to a fast start. 6 for 7 from the field. What have you liked that you've seen from the Wolverines so far here?
You know, the Wolverines are definitely using their advantage right here, even with like the rebounds we were talking about, putting that gap in between Maryland, because as we saw already, Maryland started off with a strong start with a three-pointer, and now Michigan has caught up to them and is even further with a 4-point lead at 13-9, as well as even with the fouls, which was a problem for Michigan before this game. And right now they are at their first foul. They're at their first foul with Maryland at their second.
And Michigan, one thing I really liked seeing from them on offense was the way they were moving the basketball. 3 assists from the team already on 7 field goals. I mean, just spreading the ball around, finding the open shot, taking what the defense gives them. We're not seeing, they're not leaving Silosaurus wide open in the corner, but that's okay because they're finding players that are getting open shots, whether it's down low, near the free throw stripe, or even outside. All 5 of Michigan's starters are already on the board with some points. So a great job so far by this Michigan starting 5 to get off to a fast start and make this Maryland team work.
Now, what I find insane is already Momodou having the highest points from Maryland with 4 points on her back just getting into this season. It's insane.
Yeah, I mean, you can hardly tell that she's been dealing with an injury besides that big brace that she's wearing on her leg. I mean, she came right off the bench and just making a big impact for the Terrapins right away. Maybe not totally what we expected after we heard she wasn't going to be in the starting lineup, but still making an impact here.
Yes, that has been awesome. We have Michigan, 4 points on Olsen, 3 points on Holloway, 2 points on Coral Daniels, and 2 on Sila, as well as Sophie Canish today.
I mean, just the way that they've been able to find their teammates. This is a team that plays very unselfish. And I think that's the strength of any great team is the way that everyone can play their role. And we saw this also against Ohio State with the bench. Everyone has a role to play. Everyone can score. Everyone can do basically everything on this team. I mean, people joke about this team. They play with 5 guards sometimes, but every single one of those players can go down and get a rebound. They can pass it out. They can find the open teammate, or they can score it themselves. And I think that's what's really great about this Michigan team. And I think what will help them do very well in the postseason, in the Big Ten tournament, and in March Madness as we are about to enter the month of March.
Yes, for sure. They are definitely a team that is very well rounded among their players. All of them have put points on the board this season, and they've been doing such a great job with Olsen at 18.7 points per game, Mila 13.3, Macy 2.5, Coral Daniels 6.2. They're such a great team that no matter who you put on that court, you are going to see a great gameplay.
One thing that's easy to forget about is how young this team is too. I mean, they're led by a bunch of sophomores. It's absolutely amazing to see. Now, Macy Brown is in, gets an applause from the crowd after her great performance against Ohio State. Maryland with it on the offensive end, 13 to shoot for them, down 13-9 to the Wolverines. It's Wilson working for the Terrapins, hands it off to Garzone, and we will get a foul on the floor against the Wolverines. It'll be Macy Brown who picks up her first foul, second team foul against the Wolverines. So Maryland will reset with 20 on the shot clock, down 13-9. That's the Wolverine lead with 4:24 to go in this first quarter. Garzone looking to inbound for the Terrapins, gets it to Walker. Walker will set it up for Maryland. Gets it over to Garzone on the right wing. Working against Swords, now Poffenbarger at the top of the key. 8 to shoot for Maryland. Poffenbarger trying to go down low. It's back out to Walker. Walker, jumper from the free throw stripe is no good. Rebound. Olsen was trying to get it. It goes off of Olsen out of bounds, so Maryland will get another chance. And that's one of the things we talked about pregame as well. You cannot allow Maryland to get these second chances. They'll have an opportunity here. Garzone inbounding from the baseline. She gets it into Ozzy Momodou. Little tussle there with Sulfocanic. Now it's Poffenbarger at the top of the key working against Swords. Driving left side. Bounce pass. And that one goes awry. Now it's Walker going down low with the floater. That's no good. Hits the deck. Oh, that was Ozzy Momodou who hit the deck hard. She is still down. Now Michigan on the offensive end with Macy Brown 5-on-4 as Ozzy Momodou goes up the court. But it's Corals Daniels wide open for the layup. That's what you'll see with when you got a player still on the other end of the court. Someone will be open, and Ozzy Momodou will probably head over to the bench. It looked like she might have hit her head on the floor possibly. Did not look good for Maryland, so they'll do some substitutions here. Sulfocanic will head to the bench as well for Michigan as Dudley checks in. 15-9 Michigan lead, 3:39 to go in the first quarter. Mack will take it up for the Terrapins. On the floor for Maryland, it's Wilson, Mack, Okonawa, McLean, and Garzone. For Michigan, it's Olsen, Brown, Quarles, Daniels, Swords, and Dudley. McLean working left wing against Dudley. Now down to Garzone, trying to go down low. 7 on the shot clock. Working against Olsen. Olsen got it away. 4 to shoot now for Okonawa. She puts it up, and no good. Rebound. They're fighting for it on the baseline. It goes out of bounds, and it will be Maryland basketball.
Great defense put up by Michigan. The rebounds are definitely getting tough to receive on both ends.
Holloway will check in for Michigan. Quarles Daniels heading over to the bench. Garzone now to inbound for the Terrapins. 15-9 Michigan lead, 3:08 to go in the first quarter. It's Okonawa on the right wing. Working against Swords, trying to drive, backs it out. Now going down low on that right side, passes it out. Now it's Mack from the left wing working against Dudley with the size advantage. Now Wilson working against Holloway. 3 to shoot for Maryland. Now down low, that one's no good. Offensive rebound. The putback's also no good. That was McLean for Maryland. And we'll get a foul after Swords pulls down the rebound for the Wolverines. So finally, Michigan will take over. Maryland had a lot of chances down low on that possession that seemed to just never end.
Yes, 100%. That was insane defense by Michigan.
Now Holloway will take it up for the Wolverines. 15-9 lead for Michigan. 2:39 to go in the first quarter. Olsen with it at the top of the key, looking to set up the offense. She'll put down her dribble. Looking for a teammate. Now she'll drive alone. Kicks it out. Brown for 3. Of course! Macy Brown is hot again, continuing from that Ohio State performance she had the other day. Michigan now on a 7-0 run. Poffenbarger with it. Now gives it up to Okonawa at the top of the key. Working against Swords. 18-9 Michigan lead. 2:09 to go in the first quarter. Okonawa trying to go down low for Mack. Working against Holloway. Puts it up and puts it through to end the run. 18-11 Michigan lead with 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Holloway with it now on the right wing. Passes it to Swords. She'll try to go down low for Michigan. Weaving through defenders. Can't get it to go. Okonawa now taking it the other way on a fast break. Garzone, wide open 3 on the left wing. Is good for Maryland. 18-14 Michigan lead now with 1:38 to go in the first quarter. Holloway bringing it up. Now it's Olsen. Jumper, mid-range is good. Olsen is just money from that mid-range. Poffenbarger bringing it up the right side now for Maryland. Trying to go down low against Dudley. Puts it up, and it's no good. Dudley might have even got a piece of that. Now Olsen will go quickly for Michigan. Going down low and putting it right through. Michigan taking advantage. 22-14 Michigan lead. 1:08 to go. Now Okonawa going down low for Maryland and putting it right back. There's no defense being played right now. Just fast break after fast break. Holloway taking it up. 22-16 as Holloway loses it. There was a lot of contact there. Garzone trying to hunt a pass down in the right corner for Maryland. Back out to Poffenbarger, and now Mack will reset from the top of the key, working against Olsen. Garzone in the right corner. Now Mack trying to go down low over Olsen. Her shot's no good. Holloway comes down with it. 22-16 Michigan lead. 35 seconds to go in the first quarter. Holloway gives it up to Swords. She'll set up the offense for the Wolverines. Shot clock at 15. Game clock at 22. Swords will take some time. Now give it up to Olsen at the top. Olsen finds Swords on the right wing. Swords gets it poked away. It goes out of bounds, and Michigan will keep it with 3 to shoot and 11 on the game clock. A couple of substitutions coming in here. Michigan with that 22-16 lead. 11 seconds to go in the first quarter. Del Foss checking in for Michigan for the first time here today. Olsen will inbound from the sideline. Michigan will need to put up a quick shot, 3 to shoot. It's Dudley with it, driving baseline, puts one up off the back of the backboard, and that'll be a shot clock violation, so Maryland will take over with 7.5 seconds to go. 22-16 Michigan lead here.
Definitely seen some interesting plays. Like
Mack with it. facing some pressure, gets it up to Walker, 2 to shoot for Walker, and she's going to run out of time. Didn't even get a shot off. She probably could have had an opportunity there, but does not take it. So as the first quarter comes to an end, it's Michigan with a 22-16 lead over Maryland. What did you see from that? I mean, that was a crazy first quarter, especially those last couple minutes. What did you see from each of these teams that kind of explain what just happened?
It was definitely just shot after shot after shot for Michigan, and Maryland also trying to combat that with also taking shots as well. Macy Brown putting up that three, Silas Swords holding onto the ball. It was an intense first quarter of this game, and I'm excited to see what comes after because right now Michigan is at a 6 point lead, 22 to 16, as we're about to enter our second quarter. So it has been a tough game for Michigan, but they are definitely putting their best foot forward. And like you said, if Silas Sword is gonna have a good game, she's gonna have a good game. I could definitely see this being one for her.
Swords with 2 points so far. Olsen leading Michigan with 8 points on 4 for 4 shooting. One big stat that I'm seeing between these two teams right now from that first quarter, Michigan was 77% from the field, Maryland only 41. So, I mean, Michigan 10 for 13 shooting, both teams 2 for 2 from three, but Michigan is taking and making shots right now, and that's made a big difference. I think that's a key for success there. Maryland, however, 4 offensive rebounds in that first quarter alone. So Michigan will need to do a little better on the defensive glass to prevent. I mean, we saw Maryland have a possession that probably lasted almost 2 minutes. They never scored, but they had so many opportunities. And if you keep giving them opportunities, eventually they will take them and they'll capitalize on them. So Michigan will, and this is something we talked about before the game as well, they will need to do a little bit better on the glass if they want to have a really good chance. But, I mean, if you're just going to make all your shots, I guess that works too.
Yes, that's very true. They there does have to be a medium where Michigan is putting up that defense while also taking those shots because leaving the room for Maryland isn't something that we want to do right now, especially knowing they are a team that favors those second chances that they get. And while they weren't able to get shots during it, it's definitely something that you don't want to see happen again.
One thing for Michigan, though, while they have struggled a little bit on the defensive glass, their defense as a whole has been pretty good. Maryland has not found very many opportunities with open looks at all in that first quarter, really. I mean, Michigan has been right on them throughout. Most of their points came off of kind of fluke fast breaks here and there, but when Michigan is playing their set defense in the half court, Maryland has not had much success at finding good looks. They've been able to kind of go down low a little bit, which we expected due to some of their size advantages that they have, but overall, Michigan has not allowed very many good looks for Maryland, and that's a recipe for success, especially if, as we kind of see how this game goes on, if they can pair it with some success on the defensive glass.
I definitely agree with that right there. As well as one thing I did notice is that once Momodou left, it seemed like there was a change for Maryland that I think she's definitely a key player that they are missing currently, and I guess we'll have to see if she's going to get back into the game during the second quarter or later.
It looks like she is out there right now for Maryland as they take the floor to start the second quarter of action, so that will be big. She came off the bench and scored 4 really quick points for the Terrapins, so that will be huge. I'm glad she's okay, first of all, because she took a hard hit to the floor there.
Yeah, she was definitely there for a little bit.
So we will get this second quarter of action underway. Maryland will have the ball first. It's Mack with it for the Terrapins. On the floor for Maryland, it's Mack, Poffenbarger, Akanawa, Ozzy Momodou, and Garzone. Poffenbarger hands it off to Akanawa. Working against Swords, lost the handle. There's a fight for it on the floor, and it'll be a jump ball, and Michigan will take over.
This is exactly what we want to see for Michigan, taking possessions of those losses.
Michigan on the floor is Olsen, Quarles Daniels, Swords, Dudley, and Del Foss. Olsen with it on the left wing, working against Mack. Bounce pass to Swords as she cuts to the basket. Backs it out to Dudley on the right wing. Dudley passes it back out to Quarles Daniels at the top. Now Del Foss wide open in the corner for 3. That one's no good, just off the mark. And we'll get a foul against Kendall Dudley there. 22-16 Michigan lead, 9:27 to go in the second quarter. Mila Holloway checks in for Michigan. Olsen will head to the bench to stay fresh. Garzone will inbound for Maryland from the baseline. Okanawa has it on the left side. She'll take it up, facing a little bit of pressure from Quarles Daniels, just to let her know she's there. Okanawa now working from the top of the key. Hands it off to Mack. Mack from the right wing circles around to the top of the key. Now Okanawa on the left wing. Okanawa trying to drive on Quarles Daniels. She's having none of it. Now trying to go down low, passes it out. It's Garzone and just towed the line. Steps out of bounds, and Michigan will take over. Just stifling defense from the Wolverines. 9 minutes to go in this second quarter. Michigan with a 22-16 lead. Holloway with it from the top. Going down low. She tried to pass it back out. It goes off of Ozzy Momodou, so Michigan will keep it on the offensive end.
You definitely see on Maryland, Okinawa, and Mack not letting their guard down, taking every chance they get to have possession of the ball, but Michigan is not breaking through with their defense.
Holloway gets it into Quarles Daniels in the backcourt. Now driving down low, trying to get a shot up against Garzone. That one's just a little too short. Poffenbarger comes down with it for Maryland. She'll bring it up. Now a pass goes way out of bounds. She tried to get Garzone, and it just flies into the first row, so Michigan will take over. A lot of turnovers in this second quarter from Maryland so far.
Yes, for sure. Michigan still at 22-16 against Maryland, 6-point lead, 8 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock.
Quarles Daniels working from the top against Garzone. Swords on the left wing, back up to Quarles Daniels at the top. She'll reset. 8 to shoot for Michigan. Quarles Daniels, she'll have to hurry up. 5 to shoot now. Gets it over to Swords, looking for a three-point option, and it's ripped away by Mack. Mack running up the right sideline for the Terrapins. Going down low, puts up a floater that's too short. Quarles Daniels fighting for the rebound, hits the deck, and they'll call it a jump ball. Referees have had a really quick whistle here tonight. Kim Barnes-Rico is not happy with that call. It looked like Quarles Daniels she had it herself on the floor, and the official called it a jump ball. Crowd is not happy. Kim Barnes-Rico is not happy with it. Garzone passes it in. It's Ozzy Momodou going down low, and a travel before she made that shot. Ozzy Momodou wanted a call for some contact down low. Both teams a little unhappy with the officiating, it seems.
Yes, for sure. Both points were not able to make it up the board for either Michigan or Maryland.
Olsen and Sofocanic check in for the Wolverines. That's the starting 5 out there for Michigan. For Maryland, it's Mack, Poffenbarger, Okanawa, Ozzy Momodou, and Garzone, which is actually their usual starting 5. Now we'll get a foul against Maryland. Some contact there. That one goes against Okanawa. Her second foul. 22-16, Michigan leads, 7:54 to go in this second quarter. Holloway will work from the block M. Holloway bounce pass inside. Olsen floater is good. Olivia Olsen, just money. 5 for 5 from the field for Olsen. Okanawa trying to bring it up. Lost the handle. Quarles Daniels with it on the floor. It gets batted up to Olsen. Down low and fouled on the shot. Olsen will head to the free throw line.
Such a great play by Olsen. 10 points on the scoreboard for Michigan. Here we are at 8-point lead against Maryland, 24 points to 16, 7:30 on the board.
Olsen's just a gutsy player, not afraid of contact down low. She can do a little bit of everything for Michigan, and now 2 shots from the free throw stripe for Olsen makes the first. Still the starting 5 out there for Michigan. On the floor for Maryland, it's Wilson, Poffenbarger, Walker, Ozzy Momodou, and Garzone as Olsen hits the second of her 2 free throws. Maryland trying to break the press from Michigan. It's Poffenbarger on the left side working against Olsen. And over to Walker. She'll set the table for Maryland. Walker, bounce pass, Garzone, back to Walker, cutting baseline. Floater is good. And gets back on the board for Maryland. 26-18, Michigan leads, 7:12 to go in the second quarter. Holloway working with it. Bounce pass to Quarles Daniels. She'll set things up for the Wolverines. 7 minutes to go in this first half of action. 11 to shoot for Michigan. It's Holloway on the left wing. Back to Quarles Daniels. Now Swords on the right wing. 6 to shoot. Swords driving baseline, weaving through the defender, and putting it through. Silas Swords. 28-18 Michigan lead. Garzone now brings it up for Maryland. Right wing, trying to go down low. It's Ozzy Momodou cutting to the basket and putting it through for Maryland. 28-20 Michigan lead. 6:30 to go in this first half. Quarles Daniels brings it up for the Wolverines now, working on the right wing against Garzone. Bounce pass Swords over to Holloway, working from the top against Walker. Now Swords wide open for 3 from the right wing. Strong, but Paul's banks. Silas Swords for 3.
Silas Swords, such a strong player. With 3 up on the board, putting Michigan 31 in 6
Now,
minutes.
Ozzy Momodou with some contact down low, so she will go to the free throw stripe. It's a 31-20 Michigan lead, 6:03 to go in the second quarter. Well, we've seen a really great start, a great first half so far from the Wolverines, just prolific offensively, continuing what they did in that first quarter. Now 72% from the field overall in this one. Ozzy Momodou will get 2 shots at the line for Maryland. Her first one is good. She's a 54% free throw shooter on the year.
Momodou going up for her second from third shot.
And her second shot is good. Holloway will bring it up for the Wolverines. 6 minutes to go in the first half. 31-22 Michigan lead. Olsen with it on the left wing. Now to Alyssa Crockett, who checks in for the first time for Michigan. Now it's Swords, who's setting up the offense for Michigan. 15 to shoot for the Wolverines. Holloway working from the left side. Gets a screen from Crockett. Holloway back to Crockett. Now Swords on the left wing. Finds a cutting Quarles Daniels down low. Puts up a shot way too strong. They're fighting for the rebound down low. Finally, Poffenbarger comes down with it. And Walker will bring it up for Maryland. 31-22 Michigan lead. 5:26 to go in the first half. Poffenbarger cutting to the basket. Lost it. Bounces out of bounds. And Michigan, Olsen saved it. Now Holloway bringing it up on the fast break for the Wolverines. Holloway, no good. Fouled on the shot, though, so Mila Holloway will go to the line. 31-22 Michigan lead. 5:15 to go in the first half. Foul goes against Kendall Walker, her first foul, 3rd team foul.
It's a great hustle by Michigan as Holloway is about to go 4 2 throws.
Holloway, a 76% free throw shooter on the year. Her first free throw is up and good for the Wolverines. 10-point lead, 32-22. Holloway, her second free throw is good. 2 for 2 from the line for Mila Holloway. 33-22 Michigan lead. Walker will bring it up for Maryland, up to Poffenbarger on the right side. She's going to need to cross half court. Gets it over to Akanawa, trying to go down low against Delphos. Akanawa weaving up and down and putting it through. What a tough shot from Akanawa. 33-24, Michigan lead, under 5 minutes to go. Now Delphos on the fast break, down low, and putting it right back for Michigan.
Then definitely took advantage of that open space, getting those 2.
Now Akanawa tried to do the same for Maryland, lost it, and now it's McLean with it, and that'll be a foul on the floor against Michigan. There was some contact down low. McLean might have got hit in the face or something there. It looked a little rough down there as she was trying to recover that possession, and we'll get immediate timeout. 35-24 Michigan lead, 4:46 to go in this second quarter. Well, we've been treated to a really good one so far. What have you kind of seen so far in this second quarter from either of these two teams?
I've definitely seen a lot of hustle between with them. Key players like Okinawa, Walker, Momodou have been definitely playing their part on the offense against Michigan. For Maryland, as well as Michigan, we got Olsen's Swords doing such a great job, with Olsen at 12 points now and Swords at 7. Their offense has been incredible, as well as their defense, making sure that they're limiting the amount of chances and rebounds that Maryland has the opportunity to take.
Olsen leading the way for Michigan with those 12 points, 5 for 5 shooting from the field. Olsen just cannot miss wherever she is on the floor. It seems like she can just get a bucket. It does not matter for Olsen. Meanwhile, for Maryland, you've got Ozzy Momodu off the bench with 8 points coming off of that injury. So far, pretty impressive performance from her. 3 for 3 from the floor, as well as a couple of free throws. So some key players making some key plays for each of these two teams. Kind of exactly what we expected, but Michigan out with a 35-24 lead, playing really strong here in this first half.
Sure, 11-point lead against Maryland. And yeah, both teams are definitely using their key players out here today in Chrysler. With
One thing I think that's made a big difference here in this second quarter of action is the turnovers. Maryland has turned it over overall in this game 7 times. Michigan has only turned it over 4 times. Michigan has been able to capitalize 8 points off of turnovers. Maryland has 0. That's a huge stat for Michigan, and I think a huge reason why they have this 11-point lead is they're just capitalizing on the opportunities that Maryland's giving them. Maryland's been playing a little bit sloppy, trying to get the ball up the court, and I think to Michigan's credit, their press, the full court press, has been very effective so far in this one, if nothing else, to make Maryland uncomfortable and to force some uncomfortable passes. And I think that's created a lot of turnovers that have led to nice fast breaks and easy buckets for Michigan.
Yeah, you've definitely seen that there have been times where Michigan has just been able to have an open spot, and Maryland is over here trying to catch up and reach them before they can put buckets, like we saw with DeFoss before we went into our media timeout.
Michigan's bench coming up strong so far here as well. Like we mentioned in the pregame, everyone kind of playing their roles. Delphos has 2 points. Macy Brown hit a key 3 so far. So everyone kind of chipping in for Michigan and doing what they need to do. But Maryland's bench has been fairly strong as well. And this is something we've seen from Maryland, especially lately. Their bench, during their 6-game win streak that they're on right now, their bench has been averaging 22.8 points per game. That's huge for Maryland, and that's even without the likes of Ozzy Momodu playing for a couple of those games. She's normally a starter, but now you've got McLean in the starting lineup, so they've had, their bench has been really strong, and this is what's really impressive, I think, about Maryland is even with the amount of key injuries that they suffered earlier in this season or even in last season with players that are unavailable all of this year, they're still a very deep team and still have lots of contributors who can play key roles here.
Yes, I agree. Like with Michigan, Maryland is also a very well-rounded
The
team.
Warriors conceded foul 20, sloppy first.
They amended the previous foul. The foul goes against Alyssa Crockett for Michigan. Now Maryland with it. 35-24 Michigan lead, 4:33 to go. It's Garzone on the right side. Long 3 is good. Garzone, wow. That was a pretty long 3 from the right wing, and she just hit it right over Olsen. 35-27 Michigan lead, 4:20 to go in the second quarter. It's Olsen on the right wing. Gets it over to Crockett. She'll pass it over to Holloway on the right side. Drives to the basket. She'll kick it back out to Swords for 3, and an offensive foul goes against Crockett. 2 fouls now for Crockett off the bench. 14 fouls for Michigan, and Dudley will check in. Crockett will head on over to the bench. 35-27 Michigan lead, 4:10 to go in this first half. Walker brings it up for Maryland. Working against Holloway on the right wing. Walker gets it over to Garzone for 3 from the left wing. That one's off the mark. Olsen comes down with the rebound. She'll bring it up for Michigan. Now it's Holloway on the left side, cutting down low. Bounce pass Swords, driving baseline. Her layup's too short. Maryland will take it the other way. It's Poffenbarger. She'll give it up to McLean. Now it's Walker on the right wing. Back to Poffenbarger at the top of the key, working against Dudley, the UCLA transfer. Kanawa working against Olsen, driving down low, trying to put up a shot over 3 Michigan defenders and putting it through. Kanawa, wow. That's what we see from her. She's one of Maryland's top players for a reason. 35-29, Michigan lead, 3:15 to go in the first half. Olsen on the left wing gives it up to Swords. Swords working against Walker, gets the screen from Dudley. Almost lost the handle. Now Swords cutting to the basket, putting it up. And, it just bounced out. Poffenbarger with the rebound for Maryland. She'll bring it up the right side. Hand it off to Walker. Walker trying to go down low on the right side for Maryland. Has to kick it back out to Poffenbarger, and we'll get an offensive foul. So Michigan will take over. Foul goes on Garzone. Garzone with 2 fouls now.
Brown making her way back onto the court for Michigan.
Michigan on a 2+ minute scoring drought. Macy Brown working in the mid-range for Michigan. Gets it over to Olsen. Olsen will back it out. Now Swords on the left wing. Step back 3. No good. And Brown fighting for the rebound. Swords comes out with it. Now Olivia Olsen driving to the basket. Through some contact. And 1 for Olivia Olsen. My goodness, Olivia Olsen is unstoppable.
And for sure a power machine. Michigan.
Foul goes against Poffenbarger, her first, so Olivia Olsen at the line for this and 1 attempt.
2 minutes, 38 seconds left on the board. We have Olsen to the first free throw, and it's good.
Olsen's free throw good, so it's Michigan 38, Maryland 29, 2:30 to go in this second quarter. Poffenbarger taking it up from the right wing. Passes batted away by Olsen. Swords comes down with it. Now pass up to Olsen. Bounce pass. Holloway with the layup for Michigan. What a find by Olivia Olsen. Timeout, Maryland, and this building is on fire.
That was an incredible work on Michigan's side with Olsen passing it to Mia Holloway for that fast break, leaving Holloway open and able to get those 2 points. 40-29 with 2 minutes and 18 seconds left on the board.
This is what we were talking about just a couple minutes ago with Michigan capitalizing off of those Maryland turnovers. Michigan now with 13 points off of turnovers. Maryland still with a goose egg in that category. That has made a huge difference for the Wolverines here and a big reason for this 11-point lead that they have so far.
That's insane. And even despite Silent missing those two three-pointers, Michigan still was able to make and find their way to getting 13 points over Maryland. And we're about just a little bit almost done with our the first half of this game.
Olivia Olsen, we can just keep talking about her. 15 points for Michigan on 6 for 6 from the field. Now Maryland will take it up. Scare zone on the right side, trying to work against Dudley. She'll back it out. Now trying to go down low. Ozzy Momodou. Macy Brown hits the deck. Ozzy Momodou goes right over Swords and scores for Maryland. 40-31. Michigan lead. 2 minutes to go in this first half. Holloway bringing it up. Now passes out to Olsen for 3. Yes, of course. Olsen can't miss.
3 is good. 43-31. Is back at the 12-point lead. 1 minute and 45 seconds left.
Mack with it on the left wing, working against Holloway. Gives it up to Garzone. Now over on the right side to Akanawa. Akanawa working against Swords all alone on that right side of the court. 10 to shoot for Maryland. Akanawa trying to go down low. Passes it to Ozzy Momodou, working on the baseline against Dudley. Now back to Akanawa. 4 to shoot for Maryland. Shoots over Swords, and offensive foul against Maryland. Michigan will take over once again.
Maryland is definitely feeling the pressure now against Michigan today.
That's a 3rd foul on Akanawa. She will have to head over to the bench. Poffenbarger coming back in. On the floor for Maryland right now is Mack, Poffenbarger, Walker, Ozzy Momodou, and Garzone. For Michigan, it's Olsen, Brown, Holloway, Swords, and Dudley. Holloway bringing it up, minute 15 to go in this first half, 43-31 Michigan lead. Brown working from the free throw stripe, out to Olsen for 3. Yes! Of course, it's Olivia Olsen. She is on fire in this first half. 21 points.
Such an incredible player.
Poffenbarger working for Maryland from the left side. Now it's Mack driving from the left wing. And she stepped on the line. It's out of bounds. Michigan takes over. 46-31. Michigan lead, 50 seconds on the board. Olivia Olsen has 21 points in the first half and has not missed a single free throw. This is a player who reached her career high in points just on Wednesday against Ohio State with 31. She's more than on pace to break that here tonight. I mean, this is an incredible performance we're watching right now.
Olivia Olsen, such an amazing player.
Olsen, long 3. Oh, that one's too strong. Just testing her luck a little bit there, it seemed like. Maryland now, Poffenbarger working from the right side. 35 seconds left in this first half. Poffenbarger working against Brown, gets a screen. Now Ozzy Momodou on the pick and roll. Working against Olsen, puts it up, no good. Rebound Olsen. And Olsen lost it through some contact, and Maryland will take over. This crowd is not liking the officiating here tonight. It has been a little shaky at times. Ozzy Momodou had her hand in there. I mean, Olsen had the ball fully in her grasp. I think you could have it could have gone either way. I think you could have maybe called a foul there. It definitely went off of Olsen out of bounds, but we'll see if Maryland can capitalize now. It's Poffenbarger looking to inbound, and a 5-second violation. So Maryland got the ball back from Michigan and just gives it right away.
Such a been a complicated but interesting game to watch here today.
These turnovers by Maryland, 12 turnovers in the first half already. Michigan capitalizing on 16 points off of turnovers. Holloway bringing it up, shot clock turned off. 15 seconds to go in this first half, 46-31 Michigan lead. Brown working with it from the top of the key. And we'll get a time, oh no, a 5-second violation. That'll go against Macy Brown, so a turnover goes the other way. Kim Barnes-Rico is not happy with her team after that one. 9.4 seconds to go in this first half. Maryland will have to work quickly. 46-31 Michigan lead. It's Walker working from the left side. 5 on the clock. Walker working against Brown. She's going to have to put up a shot. Puts up a mid-range jumper. That one's an air ball. And that is how we end this first half of action. Michigan 46, Maryland 31. Michigan led by their superstar, Olivia Olsen, with 21 points on 8 for 9 shooting from the field. What an incredible performance we've seen just now in that first half from Olivia Olsen. My goodness.
This has been such a great half for Michigan. You know, it's interesting to see because there are so many flaws that we were talking about just before this game started. And Michigan made this game their own, having less fouls than Maryland and putting up 15 more points than Maryland, 46-31, as we're about to enter our second half. It has been a great time watching this game and to see me in the atmosphere in Crisler, which I do think has played a part in the game that they have played today, with Olsen already getting 21 points and just 10 points away from her career high this year.
This is an A-plus atmosphere that the fans from Ann Arbor have brought here today, and Michigan is feeding off of that energy. Maryland's defense has had no answer for Michigan's offense, and especially not for Olivia Olsen. And like we talked about a little bit earlier, Michigan is passing the ball around. They have 11 assists already in that first half. What an incredible half we saw offensively from the Wolverines, and defensively, they've really kind of locked it down. Maryland hasn't had many opportunities. Ozzy Momodou with 10 points. She's been able to kind of find her way down low. But overall, Michigan has really been dominant on both ends of the floor. They're taking advantage of those Maryland mistakes, and we haven't seen Michigan make all that many mistakes. In basketball, a lot of the time, the team that wins is just the one that makes fewer mistakes. And right now, that team is Michigan, and that tells you why they have this 15-point lead.
100%. I do believe we have seen such a great game, and it's been great watching all these different players. Like you said, we already said, every single player that has come up to play for Michigan so far on the court has been able to put points on and just be able to do their role on this team.
Well, that's the first half of action here from Crisler Center. Michigan with a 46-31 lead over the Maryland Terrapins. Here on WCBN, we will continue with your second half of action in a little bit. It'll be Paul Anglade and Eli Mayhew taking over. In the meantime, you'll be able to listen in live to the Caitlin Flaherty jersey honoring ceremony here at halftime. For Luca Nowinski and Covenant Akinremi, we say so long from Crisler Center. Don't go anywhere, though. The WCBN broadcast will continue with the second half with Paul and Eli in just a few moments.
Thank you, Kate. Congratulations. Go for it.
We say so long from Crisler Center. Don't go anywhere, though. The WCBN broadcast will continue with the second half with Paul and Eli.
At the Ladies Terrapins Championship, please join us in welcoming number 3, Caitlin Flaherty.
trip. I've struggled to find the words for what this moment truly means to me, because the reality is there aren't enough words to fully express how thankful I am to everyone who supported me along the way. When I was 17 years old, I chose Michigan without knowing how much that decision would truly change my life. I came here chasing a dream and left with far more than basketball. To have my jersey retired here at the best university in the world. Is anything that wearing the and always the greatest honors of my life. None of this happened on its own. To the university and the women's basketball program, the culture built here every day, and the people who pour into this team made this moment possible for me. I am deeply grateful for you all. None of this happened on its own. To the university and the women's basketball program, the culture built here every day. To my coach, Coach Rico, thank you for giving me the opportunity to build something special with you here. You pushed me, challenged me, and helped shape me into the woman that I am today. Seeing what this program has become makes me incredibly proud. I truly wouldn't be standing here without you. To my teammates, while my name may be the one going up there, this honor exists because of all of you. Thank you for standing beside me through it all. I wouldn't have wanted to share this journey with anyone else. And to the fans, thank you for showing up night after night through every high and every low. You made playing here so special and really made this place feel like home for me. Last but certainly not least, my family. Thank you for the love and support that carried me every step of the way. To my parents, thank you for everything. From the very beginning, you believed in me before I ever knew who I could become. Dad, you are not only my coach, but my best friend. My favorite memories will always be drives to Moose, late nights for Orchard Park, and our backyard where this all began. Mom, you were a steady presence through it all, never missing a moment and always cheering me on. Thank you for always being my biggest fan. I love you both more than I can put into words, and that jersey going up there isn't just mine, it's ours. Today, I stand here with a different perspective as a wife and as a mom, and I'm so grateful to share this moment with my husband Noah and our daughter Grace. I love you both so much. Grace, you're just beginning your story, but one day I hope you look back on this moment and believe that you can do anything you dream of. Michigan is home and always will be. I'm forever grateful for this place and most importantly for all of you. Thank you again and forever go blue.
All right, gentlemen, go ahead and unveil that banner. And now it's time to read that number 3 jersey to the court center Raptor. Michigan, let's hear it. One more time for number 3, Caitlin Brady.
Anglade, we just want to take this moment to congratulate you on a great accomplishment. Tell you I'm very proud of you all. It starts with you being the basketball player, great career, and now a fantastic life to y'all. That's a lot of grace.
What was the last time? Just time spent together. So, congratulations again, and good luck. I know that you've been going further. You're the champion will have a wonderful life.
Congratulations, Coach.
Congratulations, Caitlin, on getting your jersey retired from me and Grace. We're so proud of you and all of the incredible accomplishments that you have over 4 years at Michigan. Continuing to what you do today for us, we're so thankful for all the sacrifices that you have and you continue to make with us, being my best friend and business partner and wonderfully the best mom possible to Grace. So thank you so much for that.
Today's game is presented by Jennington. March's Multiple Sclerosis Awareness Month, and it's time to shine a light on progress being made in treatment and research. The MS specialist in Michigan Medicine Neurology delivers state-of-the-art, team-based care dedicated to improving function and quality of life for people with MS. Scan the QR code up on the bigger board now to participate in today's trivia competition. Welcome to the floor. Your
Good afternoon. Welcome back to Ann Arbor, where your Michigan Wolverines are currently leading the Maryland Terrapins 46-31. Luca Nowinski and Covenant Akinremi took you for the first half. I'm calling it. We're my main man, Eli Mayhew.
Let's do it.
Taking us the rest of the way, partner. How are we this afternoon?
We're doing great. It's a great afternoon. Sunny, you know. The first half was a pretty competitive half for both teams. Maryland shot it very well from three, around 75% from three. Um, they took a lot of open shots. They're not a much of a contested shot team. They've shown that throughout the season. And then Michigan, early showing the mid-range game, which kind of opened up the drive and kick. And Olivia Olson, 21 points in the first half, only one missed shot. Just a really good game from her so far.
21 points, only missed one shot. Just sensational first half performance from the sophomore guard. This has been a team game. We've seen the defensive tenacity. Brooke Wolf, Daniels, senior day, leading the way. A lot of late clocks for Maryland. They're not able to get shots off. Poppenberger, she struggled a bit down low. And it's really been, with the 3-point prowess of Yardine Garzone, keeping Maryland in this ball game so far, and yet still Michigan with a 15-point lead as we start this second half with an early Michigan turnover. Our freshman Addie Mag bringing up the floor, using it to Garzone. Mac has it. Trying to be Holloway to the cup. Puts it up. Hard, physical, no foul call. Will stay Terrapin ball.
Yeah, in the second half, you'd like to see the Terrapins use their size a little bit more. They had some early posting up against the Wolverines, and you'd like to see them go back to that.
A bit of offensive foul there. McLean trying to set a screen. Holloway now bring up the floor, moves it to Olson. Olson trying to keep herself going from that first half performance. Puts up a 3 in the quarter. Catch.
She's on fire.
Cannot be stopped here on this beautiful day in Ann Arbor. It's a bit colder in the week with snowing, but warming up here as Addie Matt responds. Trying to get her Terps offense fired up as the deficit cuts back down to 15, 49, 34. So for Kaddish now, drive, spin, move away. It's a nice shot there. 15 in white. Let's see more of that in post game this season. That's Garzone. Again. 4 out of 5 from 3. Now, so was called for in the corner. Sofel Canch will just try to put it up over Garzone. No avail. Off of her rebound. Pull up, lay. No good there. There's like Okanama was looking for a call. Now, of course, Daniels was in the corner of the Swords and will drive for the layup. And it's good. Barnes Arago irate. Felt like there should have been a call there for a foul shot after the bucket. As Garzone will hoist again from the top of the key. Bodies flying. McLean and Holloway collide. Both still down.
Holloway's down.
McLean had tried to get up but fell back down. Holloway still not able to rise to her feet.
Yeah, what happened, it looks like, was Holloway rolled up on herself there. There was a Maryland player trying to go get the rebound. She went down, and Holloway's knee kind of buckled behind her, and it's not looking good for the Wolverines right now.
Whenever there's a knee involved, always hope for the best. It's Holloway still able to rise to her feet. Looks like that left knee, the lower leg. Should that be holding her face?
You wonder, it might be.
Maybe got hit with an elbow,
Yeah.
fighting for the rebound. But she's all right. Always star sophomore guard out of Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yeah, and you see Maryland early in this half, they're starting to shoot more threes and more contested threes. And to be honest, most of them are going in. So you could tell the game plan for Maryland is to work from the outside in, try to get some threes to fall, and then the Wolverines going going inside multiple times to their bigs and trying to get some of those easy twos.
So Foss to take Holloway's place now. Well, Foss, one of those really scary players to play all over the floor, any position. As it's turned over there, she's trying to find swords on the cut. Now Poffenberger has the matchup. She'll move it to Mack, guarded tightly by Olsen. Mack now looking for an option. Finds Okinawa, who will drive, floater, good. Maryland doing everything they can to stay in this game here. Still double digit deficit, excuse me. 53-39, Wolverines. That force Daniels looking to get the offense started. She'll move to facilitator Olsen. Sword, spin move down low, lay, off the rim. Sulfur Cannon trying to grab it, but goes out of bounds.
So Swords has so many moves inside. When she gets into the paint, you can expect a euro, a spin, or something else. She's always finding a way to get a crafty lay in there.
As Dudley to check in for the first time this second half. And she's grappling down low for position. With Azumamoto as Matt hits home a three. Maryland now cuts it to 11. Rose Daniels will be her last home game at the Crisler Center. Olsen, mid-range floater, no good. Okinawa saves it. Trying to go right at Rose Daniels. Rose Daniels was flying. Okinawa unable to finish the layup. Soars now cross court to Olsen. As Dudley tries to corral it. Will go out of bounds. Stays Michigan ball.
Well, you can see the pace that Maryland's playing with this half is a lot more energized than what they did in the first half. They tried to play more of a half court game in the first half, get the offense set. They realized Michigan's defense was built for that, so they're doing more of the transition, drive, and kick threes, and quite frankly, it's been working so far for them.
Yeah, seeming the first half, a lot of offensive possession, seemingly not a lot going on, a ton of motion. Now coming out with a little more fire. As Olsen not able to finish the layup. Dudley fighting for the rebound with Poffenberger on the ground. And the foul there on Dudley, her second. Maryland basketball. It's back now, looking for a quick restart. Guarded tightly by Swords. That's Okinawa, guarded by Del Foss. She'll drive, puts it up. Great defense. At Del Foss is Dudley with another, incidental, bit of a trip there. And two quick fouls here in the span of 30 seconds for Kendall Dudley.
Mia Holloway looks like she's coming back to the bench from the locker room, which is a good sign for the Wolverines.
Your best players will make sure she's available. This game seems like it's not quite over yet. As Azumamoto, what about travel there? Coach freezes. Let's just say helpless. Looking at the ref, what happened? It's Brown now. Just checked in. He's up the floor for Michigan. Olsen now. She's been the offensive hero so far. Puts it up. No good. Looking on with the rebound. Foul, Del Foss.
Yeah, this fast pace of Maryland is giving Michigan kind of fits in terms of fouling. Michigan trying to stop the ball, but honestly, they're just getting there just a heartbeat too late, and Maryland's drawing a lot of fouls. That might just come back to haunt the Wolverines later. especially with some of these especially Mia Holloway out so far. There might be a lot of people with fouls.
Maryland now looking, they're trying to pick up the pace as Azumamoto spin move down low on Dudley. Once again, they just can't finish the layup. As Foss now trying to take it herself on the other end. Her shot is no good. It looks like William Garazone will stay Michigan basketball. So Michigan team coming off once again a big time win in Columbus against the Buckeyes on Wednesday night. Thanks to Brown and Olivia Olsen heroics. Now another ranked team. Coach Freeze, her squads are always going to be prepared. There's another shot there, cuts it back down to 11 for the Terps. Foster invading the scene. She'll drive. The first lay, shot, score, and one.
That was a really good take by Delphos. You can see strong take. The defense kind of focused on Olivia Olsen, worried about her. She's been hot. And Delphos just takes the one-on-one matchup, goes left, finishes with the right hand, kind of a reverse layup type move, and gets the foul. That was really nice. She had it on the original possession before, but she took it up on the left side, got kind of cramped with the rim. Great adjustment by her to get that and one.
Say best as we hit the media timeout. So Maryland talked about first half, a lot of long possessions. Addie Mack, some of your key players, not able to quite get it going. Poffenberger, you want to exploit that matchup down low, especially with Sulphur Cannick. Normally not playing a ton of minutes, and we're just looking at it now. Coach Freeze, 23 seasons, a lot of head coaching experience. She's come out with a different formula for the second half. Try to cut that lead down. For Michigan, Kim Barnes, Erica Zulu, they are trying to stay composed. A bit of foul trouble there. We saw Dudley Delphos picking up each a couple quick ones, but Michigan trying to maintain that lead. Again, Olivia Olsen, 21 big time first half points as retirement ceremony at halftime. Hope you guys have the chance to listen. Caitlin Flaherty, 4-year Wolverine, one of Barnes Erica's favorites. Great career. And after Ellie Cadell, no more
number threes.
Men's or women's.
Yeah, so Mia Holloway and Elliot Cadeau will be brandishing the last of the number 3 at the University of Michigan in terms of basketball, which is pretty crazy to see. But, hey, they were both really good players in their time, and I don't think we'd trade the number 3 for them whatsoever. I mean, they were great players. Number 3 in this game, Addie Mack. She's also been pretty hot for the Terrapins, especially in the second half. Hitting threes. I think Freeze has realized that inside game, although they were getting some good looks inside, it wasn't working for them in the first half, and they were taking too much time to get there. And they just ended up taking rush shots at the end of the shot clock. So they've turned to their freshman guard, 5'9" from Minneapolis, Minnesota, Addie Mack, and she's been hitting some threes. I mean, they've drove and kicked multiple times, and she's been open. Just taking the pressure off of Garzon so that she can get maybe some open looks and maybe get inside a little bit more with her size sitting at 6'3". I mean, you want to see her get a little bit more involved in the paint, but in order to do that, you got to spread out the defense, and that's what they've been doing with Addie Mack in the second half. And yeah, it's been working.
I mean, you said it best right there. They really love Addie Mack. Great to table. Another one of Freeze's highly touted recruits. Maryland, Michigan, both programs that are recruited very well, up there with the LSU's, the UConns of the women's college basketball world. And it's working right this season. Obviously, two of your better players, of course, Smiko and Bartolome, go down with injuries, ACLs. That's important, but gotta keep going. Next, woman up is the mantra, and other players such as other star freshman guard Brady Wilson, who was a star player in high school in her own right, set a couple records. Maryland, the train does not stop as DeFoss unable to complete the three-point opportunity. Maryland now on the break. Garzone, excuse me, Garzone, is thinking about pulling the three. Pulls it back to Walker. Good cut, McLean battling. Moves it back out. Walker, mid-range. No. Now Swords trying to control the tempo. Swords, 9 points. Not a most impressive game so far by all offensive metrics, but that's why you have other players like Olivia Olsen that can step up as if the now one's three goes awry. Maryland now going a bit cold after a pretty solid hot start to the second half as Swords puts it up and the foul. Just when we said she was getting the big cold, she said, hold my beer.
Yeah, Silas Swords with that was a really good take down the baseline, using the baseline to her advantage. Great strength she showed right there on the Maryland defenders. It was really good take.
Swords, a fan favorite. Many here at the University of Michigan. Watched. I've watched her and this team grow. Deep run into March Madness last year, hoping to do a bit of the same in the coming weeks. Big time finish right there by Elizabeth Modu. Lead back down to 14. For Foss, Dudley had a cut, but Mack was able to intercept it and fouled by Delphi. Or a bit of a travel there, actually, as Coach Freeze is irate.
Yeah, and that's just a result. That's just a result of the Maryland's tempo that they've been playing with. They've been trying to push it down the floor fast, and that's been getting them obviously in turnover trouble. So you give and you take, but yeah, the 3-pointers in transition have been working for the Terrapins.
Now it's Brown trying to drive to her left, puts it up, and go. Brown now up to 5 points. Mack looking to respond, directing traffic, or tightly by that long wingspan, Del Foss. You got Del Foss and Forrest Daniels out there on the perimeter. It is extremely hard to get anything going as Sophie Mechanic was flying, but she was trying to draw a charge against a smaller Azimamodu.
Yeah, Michigan in that last possession getting a lot of one-on-one matchups. You wonder if Maryland might switch to a zone over here because they're just getting beat off the dribble every time.
Azimamodu and Sophie Kanich battling as Azimamodu way up again. Too strong. Olsen now. Too strong there for Sophie Kanich. Now it's Okinawa pushing the pace. Draws the foul on Brown. Bucket no good, but goes to the line for 2.
And that's what Maryland wants to do. They want to get out in transition and they want to try to get those buckets, whether it's a 3-pointer or a 2-pointer. They want to have numbers and they want to make Michigan run. Michigan wants to slow down the game, get their isolated matchups, play a little ISO ball. Maryland, they want numbers and they want to get the team basketball implemented on the transition.
Walker sinks the first one. Go down for Okinawa, 75% free throw shooter on the season. Swords checks back in for Michigan. We'll see what the Michigan offense looks like without Olsen on the floor, who's been doing most of the damage as instantly a turnover as Delphos not having her best performance today.
Yeah. Maryland's gonna try. They've tried a little bit more after those quick threes to start the second half. They tried pounding the ball in the paint a little bit more. I want to see, with Okinawa out of the game, their main big. Let's see if we can get a little bit of action from Garzon in the paint as she does.
No Boyko today either. As Maryland, this Maryland team dealing with a lot of the injury bug. We already talked about Smee Clay and Bartelma, excuse me, being done for the season. A lot with Reed McDaniel, another ACL tear. This Maryland team have started off the season 14-0 before Big Ten play really got going. A couple tough losses. A lot of key wins as well. Kentucky, Michigan State, Ohio State this past Wednesday. Those big time wins and has another turnover.
Yep, there's the press. The press for Michigan or for Maryland is giving Michigan fits right now. They are not getting the ball in, and yeah, they're having Olivia Olson check back in. They want a little bit more. I think you put in the starting lineup here. You want a little bit more camaraderie in these situations when they're pressing. You want to be able to whip the ball around like it's on a string real fast.
Maryland with another opportunity, potentially cut it down to single digits for this first time since mid-second quarter. As now, Knobber will drive, mid-range J, no good. Now Crockett, one of those three seniors honored today. And Olston loses it, fighting on the floor. Jump ball. Possession, Maryland.
Yeah, the constant pressure from the Terps is definitely doing some things to the Wolverines. See, they're putting the seniors in, the gals with more experience, and just to try to counter this Maryland attack. I mean, this defense is definitely. I don't know if it was not on film or something, but it is really giving Michigan some trouble.
A lot of teams sometimes, try to hide their best stuff for later in the season as a miscommunication between Arizona and Okinawa. Arizona just throws that one out of bounds. As Holloway set to check back in the first time since what looked like a fretful injury. Gives a bit of a standing ovation here at the Crisler Center. Mila Holloway, such a special player. Now she's looking to drive. Crockett, corner, three. No, good. She'll kick it back out. Holloway, step back three. That one goes awry as well. Now Garzone looking for numbers. Mac, drive, shot, good. Addie Mac trying to get her team back in it. Terps down 10. Brown now drives. Olsen, contact. Offensive foul.
Oh no, they're gonna call a jump ball here. I think.
Oh no, they called.
I think they're calling a jump ball, and it will. Yeah, Michigan will retain possession, but the crowd does not like that. It looks like they got a little bit of the arm there.
Yeah, it looked like Garzone was just before that restricted area.
Yeah, I don't know if she got anything but the arm, but maybe the ref saw something that I didn't.
There will be no review, no challenge. So inbound for Michigan. Swords cuts to the basket, tries to throw it up, doesn't get it. Another foul.
Yeah,
Silas Swords. We all know she could shoot. We all know she has a mid range, but this game she's kind of been establishing herself in the paint, showing off a little bit more the strength of Silas Swords, and Maryland has not been able to deal with it so far.
Swords makes the first one. Looking at, Swords off the season. Player of the year, contention, and all the toss. Pulled off a bit. Especially in Big Ten start January.
Mhm.
Three-point shot was not hitting as much as it used to be. For the Mets team, we saw that a bit with Jackson Lindelof, but the Swords, to see her be able to adjust her game as you just said, mid-range layups, driving, and I see on defense, and we
Yeah.
pick up as well. She just gets a steal. That's what great players do. Find other ways to contribute, even if the ball's not always in your hands. Right there, you see Swords with the steal.
Well, Swords will always find herself with the ball in her hands as long as she's on the Michigan Wolverines. They trust her, and everybody knows, and everyone in the building knows that at any time she can hit like 5 straight threes and go crazy.
And Swords step back in the corner.
I like that.
It's only a matter of time, folks. Crowd on their feet. And that is how the third quarter comes to an end. Silent. Swords doing it all. As Michigan ends the third quarter leading 67-52.
Yeah.
And being able to rebuild that 15-point lead, Maryland is keeping it close. Eli, we just saw once again the greatness, resilience of this Michigan team.
Yeah, it tells a story. 67 points in 3 quarters. That's pretty good for the Wolverines. That's kind of the pace you want. You saw it again against some teams like Michigan State, especially the first game they took to, I think it was double overtime. They weren't scoring as much. And Michigan, they're a good defensive team, but obviously Delphos, she comes off the bench. So you could tell Michigan's focus, they want to score the ball. They've got those 3 sophomores, Holloway, Olson, and Swords. They've got them out there on the starting lineup to score. So Michigan wants to run up the score. They want to kind of separate themselves with the other team early, which they did today against Maryland. So that even when Maryland goes on a run, it goes from a 15-point game to an 8-point game rather than from a 5-point game to maybe even a Maryland lose. So having that cushion really helps the Wolverines mentally, I think, lock in and can kind of fend off Maryland and rebuild a 15-point lead, like you said, to go into this fourth quarter.
Bit of a t-shirt toss, going around. But you talk about the scoring. This is a Michigan team, first in the Big Ten in scoring, 87 points per game, 6 overall across college basketball. So they know they can put points up on the board.
Yeah.
But when they play tough games like Vanderbilt, when they played some of these other top teams, UConn, can the defense step up?
Yeah.
And we've seen Boyles Daniel, we've seen Delphos, we've seen Silas Swords, her defense, her defensive presence grow as the season has progressed. And that's what you want. Defense wins championships. And so far, this Michigan team proven that the offense, even when the offense is not having, defensive production can step up. And you got your last game of the season here.
Yeah.
After that, Big Ten play, Michigan, wrapping up, top 4 seed in the upcoming Big Ten tournament. We've got UCLA, a tough loss there. You got Iowa. You got some of the other top tier teams. Michigan State, Ohio State. But looking ahead, what do you think Michigan? Because you said we lost some of these teams. If they see UCLA again, if they see Michigan State again, games that could go either way. What do you see them the key to victory? Going down the stretch.
Yeah. Michigan, I think the key is their bench. So Michigan, their starters, they do a lot of cardio. They even earlier this season against Canisius, they were up 60 points, and they still had the starters out because they need that cardio. And Michigan, they keep games close and they go to overtime a lot. So even with all that cardio, they're going to need some production from their bench. They're going to need some good minutes from Delphos, from Brown, from all these other players. And especially against those good teams, you need that bench to step up because the starters are going to give you something for Michigan. It just is a known fact, and they're so consistent. You need that bench to stay as consistent as the starters.
We start the fourth quarter here with another forced Maryland turnover. Walker looks like looking for Okinawa in the corner. Too high. Another turnover here for Terps. Something that you cannot afford to do as Dudley on the break. Try to lay it up. Does it. And a foul. Kendall Dudley, one of the Ohio State heroes, with another big time bucket for Michigan.
Yeah, that was a good play. Michigan recognizing that Maryland loves that press, they get it up the floor, easy bucket and one.
Oh, once again, had that sensational game time 3-point shot. Michigan trailed by as much as 8 with a minute 30 left to go in OT against the Buckeyes. Brown, unsung hero. Now gets caught on a defensive switch. Garzone in the corner. Cannot respond. Swords with the rebound. Holloway, Olsen, Lay. No good. Back now. Trying to get her turns back in it. As strong finish in Walker. Swords wide open. 3. No good. Back now. Trapped in the corner. Able to get out of it. Garzone. She'll move to Walker. Walker trying to do it again. Brown goes flying. Walker, corner 3. Rims in and out. Then back in. Maryland now quick 5-0 run. So cut it back down to 14, 70, 56. There's now Holloway.
Oh man, they're not gonna like that one. They're not gonna like that one.
Michigan fans, just saw Walker do a bit of the same motion to Mason
Yeah.
Brown. No call there, but Holloway gets penalized.
Yeah, that was essentially the same play, and the refs seemed to only call it one way. That really got the crowd into it.
Martin Zerico probably saying something along the lines of, let's keep it a stack. As now Mac, Terps now looking to cut it down to potentially 11. Garzone, 3. Off, back of the rim. Brown now rebound. Holloway again, crossover. Piece of Olsen, mid-range, rims out. Now Okinawa. Back now, very tight. Olsen. Maryland waiting for a play to develop. Okinawa driving baseline. Tries to draw contact. Dudley went straight up. No call. Great defense. Rebound Brown. Olsen only 5 points this half after a 21-point first half explosion. She'll move it to Holloway. Holloway trying to shake Mac now. Garzone switched on him. Holloway dancing. Fade away. No good. Mac rebound. A lot of up and down the court now. Last few possessions for both teams. As Walker strong again. Just battling. Olsen. She'll put it up and in.
It's like with the offhand she put that in. That was an impressive fadeaway shot. You can see Michigan right now. All 5 girls are going to the boards. They saw the first half. A lot of second chances from Maryland. You can see all 5 Wolverines every time are at the boards.
And a throwaway turnover by Dudley. And we've seen this a bit. The Ohio State game on Wednesday, Michigan, kind of giving away a bit of a lead to send it to overtime before eventually coming back to win that ball game. Here, it's not, particularly, close single digits, but not able to put Maryland away. Can't let a talented team like the Terps off the hook multiple times and expect to get away with it. It's that Wilson now has had a big impact today offensively, trying to get involved. Mac moves it. McLean battling Dudley. Shot. Good. Maryland creeping ever closer. Lead cut back down to 10, 70, 60. Just under 6:20 to go. Holloway drive. Strong. No call as Wilson went flying.
Yeah, well, Michigan only has scored before that bucket had only scored 3 points the entire third quarter, first in the first 4 minutes, which yeah, that's unacceptable if you're the Wolverines. And shout out to the Terps defense. Honestly, they've contested a lot of Michigan shots. Michigan hasn't been shooting a lot of threes. Maryland's kind of figured out Michigan's game plan is to like take you off the dribble, drive to the lane, and finish. Try to get a foul. Maryland has been sitting back, not fouling, hands straight up. Like, well-timed jumps. They've timed up the jumps well, obviously, aside from maybe that Mia Holloway bucket. They've been strong at the lane. Michigan just been unable to score. And on Maryland's side, they've been doing, honestly, what Michigan's been doing. They've drive. Instead of going for the layup, though, they post up and they get maybe a fadeaway shot or a quick little dunk into the lane. So the Terrapins have really figured out a game plan that's worked so far. Michigan's gonna have to adjust.
I mean, you said it best right there. I mean, this right now, Michigan normally holds people to about 61 points per game. Maryland at that mark essentially right now with just over 6 minutes left to play here. But Maryland, when Coach Prince Group can't continue to turn the ball over and expect Silas Swords to be missing some. Expect Olivia Olson stay, a big hole in the second half. They've got to start executing almost to perfection. Now we're getting to the point, 5 minutes and under, they say, it's clutch time in basketball. Every possession, crucial. They're gonna need to lean on adding that. We're gonna need to lean on some of these other players, Okinawa and Emoji. But for Michigan, they have to just continue to play their game. Not nothing complicated. Work the possession, use the entire clock if you have to. But no, if the fast break outlet isn't 100% there, probably not the best option. So just settle it, and you see Emil Holloway become really good at that. Knowing when to push the pace and when to settle it down. Let's get an offense possession going. As looks like we're just about set to come out of the timeout here. It's been weird.
Yeah.
The false spring break or what do they call that, fake spring?
Yeah, they had us. Yeah, they had us in the first half with the sun. They had it like I was wearing a T-shirt the other day. It was great, and then the next day it was snowing. So I just have no idea what to wear nowadays. It's hard to get myself to do laundry anyway, and now like I'm out of pants and like out of shorts. So I don't even know what to do at this point, man. I just got to go home, get some laundry done. It's just the weather's so confusing because I like wear shorts in my dorm and like I'm chilling, but like then when it's like hot outside, I don't want to wear pants because then it's gonna be hot. I don't even. Michigan weather makes no sense.
I'm from Maryland. One day it's 60 degrees, it feels great. Next day it's 20 degrees and there's black ice on the ground. I'm like, what is going on?
Makes no sense.
Sometimes you just have to take it. But the first day of spring break, as there's still some students here, in the student section. Really good turnout for today's game.
Yeah, I was surprised.
Considering, the spring break, a lot of people might not be here. Michigan, played at Sophisticated. Big time defensive play there. Denies the shot opportunity. Now Olsen now bringing up the floor, hounded by Walker. As the Maryland freshman has a sensational performance today for the Terps as Olsen. Great job shielding herself to the basket as Quarles Daniels and Okinawa now battling. Okinawa draws the contact from Quarles Daniels, who's beside herself.
But was that Garzon with that full court pass between two defenders?
I think it was.
That was a really good pass.
Great vision. She has a softball history, though. Great throw.
That was a great pass between two Michigan defenders, able to draw the foul. Just that was all set up by Garzon on the opposite free throw line, throwing it to the basket for an easy foul.
Okinawa looks first of two. cut the lead down to 12. She will. 74-62. Michigan has led the entirety of the game. Not looking to give it up anytime soon. The Swords now directing traffic. Rose Daniels, Delphos, corner, 3. She's good for one of two of those a game.
Yeah, for sure. She can shoot.
Yeah, Delphos, known for defensive presence that can hit the occasional 3 ball as well as Olsen showing up her skills with a steal. Michigan now looking to push the pace. And she'll throw up a shot.
An interesting shot from Olsen. I thought she had numbers and she had a lane. I don't know why she pulled up for a mid range. But you know what? 21 points in the first half. You can't really argue with that. So yeah, she's pretty good.
Errant on the mid-range J as Rosie Manuk just denied twice. Del Foss. Her presence goes without saying. Swords now guarded tightly by Mack. Olsen. Del Foss on the cut in the middle, jockeying for position. Swords pull up, no good. It'll stay. Michigan ball. Holloway checks back in. Olsen will take a seat. We had a media timeout here. Michigan bumped it back up to 15. Maryland, not a ton more you can do here. You're going to have to hit almost every shot. Rest of the way, play really good defense. Oh, Michigan, goes a couple turnovers in there.
Yeah. The Wolverines, that 3 by Delphos was huge. It really kind of took the air out of the Maryland team. Yeah, Michigan's just been playing well today. They've been making early in the game, I think making those mid ranges and opening up the floor. I mean, although it's kind of like gone away, but that initial advantage of the mid range shot and the forcing Maryland to take that away and opening up the drive and kick and all these other things for the Wolverines offense really got them jump started, really got them a lead. And when Michigan plays with a lead, all besides Ohio State, they're pretty good with it. And Maryland, despite their attempts to kind of take it away with the 3, they tried to ground and pound inside. It's just been the Wolverines' defense in this second half that is, although Maryland has 62 points, which is above Michigan's season average of letting up. It's really been that was mostly first half points. The second half, Michigan's defense has been locked down.
Michigan's defense. Talked about it a lot, but you actually see it in person. You see Silas Sword contributing defensively, getting people to see Olivia Olsen. Players that are normally more known for their offensive scoring prowess, be able to say, hey, I can, go two-way as well. It's not just Forrest Daniels. It's not just Talia DeFoss that, can carry the defensive load. That's what a lot of these top teams, mentioned UCLA, Vanderbilt, Texas, UConn, or Michigan State. A lot of these are well-rounded, loyal machines.
Yeah.
That, and a lot of these coaches, they don't take the person that can score, that can shoot the lights out defensively, major liability. So what a lot of that is somehow a Michigan State fan made their way into the building.
Yeah. I don't know how they got in, but yeah, they're here.
They're here. But
unsuccessful hate watch, unfortunately for them. Well, so far, knock on wood. It's an unsuccessful hate watch for them. But no, I think it's been the emphasis on defense in this second half is very apparent. I mean, you have all 5. Usually, you'll have 1 or 2 people going for an outlet. When you get a defensive rebound, it's all 5 Wolverines crashing to the boards when Maryland shoots the ball. It's all the help that they're getting, especially when Maryland starts to post up. There's always a person trying to steal the ball from the back. It's just constant pressure on that defense and constant emphasis, using energy on that defense for the Wolverines, which you don't see a lot of, considering they're so good and they can usually run the teams out of the building. But when you're against a team like Maryland, a top 25 opponent, a gritty opponent, you got to put some emphasis on the defensive end to try to stop them. especially when you know they can get on a run at any time.
I mean, this is a team that's getting set to go here. You know, you start really looking ahead. So they have what it takes, but it's going to come down to crucial moments. As Holloway battling, loses it on the floor, tussling. Get a timeout.
Maryland?
Michigan. 30
Oh, okay.
as looked like Coach Eric Barnes Erico to avoid a jump ball situation here, as they'll have 10 seconds to do something on the shot clock. Holloway, bumping and grinding. Looked like Walker there. Kendall Walker, freshman, St. John's College High School. She's been all over today. Yeah.
Yeah, she's been very good. Really, all of Michigan and all of Maryland have just been playing a really good game. And at the end of the day, it's been Maryland's incapability of figuring out Michigan's offense because they're so versatile. It's just they try for a bit there. They figured out the dribble drive, and for like 2 or 3 possessions, they stopped Michigan. Besides that, Michigan got back to their 3-point play, started milking the clock, long possessions, making Maryland tired, and ending up getting some tough buckets. And that put the game away.
And Del Boss. Green ball. Michigan now largely the game 18. 80-62. Michigan has really opened it up late here as Maryland, as Gearzone backing down. Great footwork. Unable to finish the layup. As Sobelcan tries to save it and does. Swords pushes up Holloway. Corner. Lost the dribble a bit. Regains control. Moves it back to Swords up top. Swords roughing traffic. Sobelcan has the mismatch on a much smaller Addie Mack. Down in the post. And Mack doing her best. And looks like we have a jump ball here. As Mack doing great work there.
That was pretty good. She's got a couple inches, a large height difference. Yeah, they just subbed her out. No, but that was crazy. Yeah, that was a really good defensive play, given the size advantage, and able to get that jump ball. Unfortunately, won't go Maryland's way, but just an amazing effort, even down 18.
Michigan gets it in. Swords, she'll drive to the cup. No, Dudley picks it back out. Swords has the hoist. Oh my gosh. Just misses the mark. First shot clock violation of the day for the Wolverines. Which is, that's a pretty good thing when that's coming with 2:43 to go in the game. But Walker now has to make something happen on this possession for Maryland. Walker, cross, kick, McLean. Mack now trying to drive on Holloway. She'll put it up. Tough. Bucket. No. But a foul.
Michigan fouls and number 3, Mila Holloway.
Yeah, there's been a lot of passing out of open buckets for the Terrapins. I mean, the Michigan defense is just not collapsing on the Terrapins when they're driving, and Maryland's still kicking it out, which essentially does nothing because it's just gonna be another one-on-one matchup. If you have the bucket, you gotta sometimes take it if you're the Terrapins, and I just think they're being a little too passive. It looks like you don't want to get the bucket; they want the assist, and sometimes you gotta want it more, to get the points rather than the assist.
Mack hits both free throws. Lead now. That's 16. Holloway. She'll move with the Quarles Daniels. Holloway. 3. Michigan opening up the floodgates. Gearzone looking to answer. I thought that might have been tipped by Del Foss. I've looked to try to get a replay as Ali Van Timmeren was going to check in on the other side of the timeout.
Yeah, crazy. Yeah, crazy game so far. just from the standpoint of the inconsistencies of both these teams, honestly. There's just been periods where Michigan, like right now, they're hitting a bunch of threes, and there's just been periods where they're stone cold from the field, and right now Maryland's stone cold from the field. But there's been times where, especially when they went to that post game, they were starting to rack up some points. It's been a very like awkwardly paced game, but at the end of the day, Michigan up 19 on Maryland with 2:01 left in the fourth.
So you said that's right there as some fans starting to exit the building, try to beat the traffic. This has been the score holds great minute. You just saw those big even on the turnovers. Maryland 21, Michigan 18. Michigan 32 points up turnovers. Maryland only has 10. And that's a 22-point differential. Kind of the score we're seeing right now, 83-64, as Alan Van Timmer, graduate forward, checking in as dives on the floor, hustles for the rebound, jump ball. Great effort right off the bench.
Yeah, Michigan gonna try to get all those seniors in the game.
Crockett now will join the club. The Crockett, Rolls Daniels, and Van Timmer on the floor. Man, gotta love our crew at WCBN Sports, man. Great with the people as Okinawa gets the and one bucket. Joe heads to the line to try to complete the three-point play. Brown will check back in for Burroughs Daniels on what will most likely be the final minutes at the Crisler Center.
Yeah.
Standing OB. What a great career for number 5.
Not over yet, though.
Not over yet.
Just over at the Crisler.
So that Big Ten tournament, March Madness. As Crockett and Holloway playing catch. Just over under a minute 20 to go. Crockett now looking for an option. Trying to find someone. Holloway. 7 to go. Holloway crossover. Brown. She'll drive. Left hand layup. It will go. Michigan putting the finishing touches on impressive senior day showing. Looks like the bench will be totally empty as Mackenzie Matherin and Jessica Fields getting set to check in for the Wolverines. Brown bring it up.
There we go.
Van Timmeren puts it up. Layup. Good. Special scene here, folks. Nothing like it. He's embraced by our teammates in the closing seconds here in Ann Arbor.
Great senior.
Great scene. Proud on their feet.
We expect this kind of scene from like Will Cheddar when he steps off the court for the last time at Crisler when they play Michigan State on the 8th. Be there.
WCBN will have coverage as McLean nice cuts of basket. So Brad now will bring it up. That should do it. She'll dribble it out here. 10 seconds till the horn. Michigan does it again. Another win against a top 25 ranked opponent. Kim Barnes, Erico, Ann Arbor. This team is special. They have all the tangibles, the tools, the players. Now, up next, Big Ten tournament, March Madness.
Yep. It's an exciting time of the year. You know, Michigan obviously had some heartbreaking losses like to UConn earlier in the year, but they played them close, and this team's grown a lot since then. You got 3 sophomores starting, so when you got young gals like that starting, They develop throughout the season. They get better. So we'll see how they can fare with those top teams.
And once again, it's Maryland Terrapins fall to the Michigan Wolverines 87-69. Your final score here from the Crisler Center in Armor on Senior Day. Olivia Olson, player of the game, 21-point first half explosion. And, just looking ahead, real quick. So obviously we talked about Big Ten tournament, but does this team, because so a lot of your best players are sophomores, underclassmen.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, kind of questioning, do they have what it takes? What are your thoughts?
Do they have what it takes? I think if Michigan plays their best game, they can beat anyone in the country. And I know that's that's an overplayed tune, and a lot of people say that. I mean, obviously, if you play your best game, you can beat anyone. But this team, with the shooting and the defense that they have coming off the bench, if they play well, they can really make some noise come March. The problem is they got to be consistent. They're playing a lot of back-to-back, every other day games with the Big Ten tournament and March Madness. You got to stay fresh, and especially with the rotation that Michigan has, they short their rotation pretty much, and so they have a lot. Silas Swords, Olivia Olson, Mia Holloway playing a lot of minutes. You got to see injuries factor in. Just being tired in general factors in. You gotta you. That's why I said that bench has got to be real. It's got to be there. And if Michigan wants to make a deep tournament run, they're gonna have all forces go.
Say best there as touching, heartfelt tributes from the seniors. Mr. Crockett, Ali Van Timren, the one and only. Brooke Quarles Daniels, once again, Michigan defeats Maryland 87-69 here on WCBN Sports. Once again, make sure to check out men's basketball home versus Michigan State next Sunday at 5:30. WCBN will have coverage. From Eli Mayhew, Covenant Akinremi, who could now still had you for the first half. I'm following with. We're gonna leave you as we always do. For the so long, and the go blue.